Hello and welcome to High Performance Imports V7 commentary. This video came out a little bit later in 2003, and as you can see here, it's the first one where we used a little animated opening sequence. So I'll just play now. To be honest, it wasn't particularly impressive even in 2003. One good thing about it though is they were able to animate the black R34 Skyline that I was building as a project car at the time. Although I think they based the animation from pictures of an R34 GTR, whereas I was building a GTT, but near enough.
The Tokyo Auto Salon. Big, noisy and crazy as ever. If you want to show off any kind of car modification in Japan, this is the #1 event on the calendar. The 2003 show filled all 8 halls of the Makuhari Convention Center with demo cars from across Japan, although not everyone is there to see the cars. Let's start with some of the standout entries. Ari Yamamiya, the most famous rotary specialist in Japan, has gone camo on this FD RX-7. It has the power of a T88 turbo with a GT-style wide body kit, including carbon fibre GT wing and rear diffuser. Inside, it's typical street race style, but getting in is the trick. A complex motorised arm gives the doors a Lamborghini-style scissor action. The wide front guards are essential to make room for the kit.
Scissor doors were a pretty popular conversion back then, but this was one of the only ones that was fully automated. I like the way it pulls in when it's finished too. But also notice there the stickers on the side of the car are written backwards on this side. That's always been a thing in Japan. They, on the passenger side in Japan, they have, if they're English stickers, they'll be read normally from left to right, but then on the other side, they put them mirror reversed, just so that they're a perfect match, I guess, from left to right. I guess if they've got everything fitting perfectly on one side, then they know it's going to fit perfectly on the other side too.
It was a surprise to see a couple of chop tops at this year's show. This Impreza WRX was brand new when it got the chop. C West took an axe to this S15 Silvia to launch their new DRFT drift brand. Must be hard on your neck wearing a helmet in this one.
The sheer number of promo girls at this event was incredible, and the number of photographers who seemed to be there purely to photograph them was pretty amazing too. I think this might have been the last year I went to the Tokyo Auto Salon because I was getting a bit bored with it, to be honest. I prefer going to the drift events and other race events.
Probably the most impressive engineering effort was this S14 Silvia by Weld. The flip front reveals custom inner guards and a flat mount intercooler. The engine sits 40 centimetres further back than normal, with a new firewall built as part of the complex roll cage. It's a one-seater now, with a custom linkage for the gearbox and a drag-style cockpit. The exhaust runs through the cabin in an insulated tunnel, with a pipe coming out just in front of the rear wheel. The windscreen flips up for better access to the engine, and the radiator has been moved to the boot, helping them achieve a 50-50 weight balance.
It's a really impressive car, that one. I assume it was built for time attack. I can't really see what else you'd use that for. It didn't have an incredible amount of power, but obviously they'd done an awful lot of work on weight distribution.
Their GDB Impreza is currently the fastest street car around the Tsukuba circuit after making a 56.2 second lap. The unique turbo setup uses a single truss turbo with a titanium feed pipe. This blows into the centre tank of a twin-core intercooler, which in turn feeds a pair of custom inlet manifolds using twin throttles in each. The power output is nearly 600 PS.
Seems like an incredible amount of effort to go to for 600 horsepower, at least these days. But I think as much as anything it was set up for maximum response all the way through the mid-range, and obviously worked because they were the quickest car around Tsukuba at the time. Loads of GDB Imprezas there that year, although they seem to be less and less interest in WRXs every year after that in Japan.
Top Secret have gone further with their 350Z demo car, adding a single turbo kit and special inlet manifold. Their famous gold R34 GTR looked amazing this year with gold film covering most of the body panels.
Wraps were just starting to become a thing back then.
The engine has been changed again too, with a pair of 2835 Pro internal wastegate turbos creating an unusual high mount kit. This R34 started life as a GTT, but now has GTR bodywork and a twin-turbo V6 engine. Top Secret used this car to develop the new Nissan V6 engine.
Yeah, this was a big deal at the time, putting I think it was a VQ30 motor into an R34. I think Top Secret were trying to get a jump on things, expecting the VQ30 to be the next popular tuning engine, which, as it turned out, didn't really happen. About the same time, the R34 GTRs being used in JGTC racing also went to the V6 and stopped using the RB. Apart from anything else, it's quite a bit lighter than an RB26 and a lot shorter, which improves the weight distribution.
It has a V-mount intercooler and radiator setup, which appears to use a pair of Supra intercooler cores. A big oil cooler is mounted low in the front bar. Japanese cameras all seem to be mounted low too.
More of those jamming guys.
Valside had the most imposing stand, with 9 demo cars and at least as many promo girls. They used the Auto Salon to launch their new 350Z body kits. Version 1 uses add-on skirt extensions and a simple spoiler lip, with 19-inch Valside wheels to match. Version 2 has complete front and rear bar replacements, designed to suit the Valside teardrop exhaust. The wing is a sleek shape, while the nose has almost an Aston Martin style to it.
Like everyone else, Valside thought that 350Zs were going to be a lot more popular than they actually turned out to be.
Wheel design looks great in silver, but the wild version 3 car has them in chrome, measuring 20 by 10 inches. This car has the most aggressive nose cone, combined with a vented bonnet and side skirts that could only be from Valside.
about 6 months before this, I visited Valeside. Can't remember which video that was in. And he was trying to decide which one of those body kits to produce. I think at the time he was planning on doing only one. He asked my opinion at the time which one I liked, and I think it was the second one was the one that I thought was the best, but in the end he just made all three of them anyway.
The Valeside Supra has also been reborn with another development of the kit using very smooth flared guards and a buttress-style hatch. There's no rear wing as such, but it doesn't need one either.
Incidentally, that's not their drag car. This is just the new kit put onto some other Supra the same colour.
Other new cars include an Aristo and a pair of BMW designs.
Aristo being a GS 300 Lexus in most markets, but over there was still an Aristo.
The Nissan L Grand van we showed you in Volume 5 is also complete.
I remember this being really exhausting trying to get around the whole place. I was literally there for an entire day. Actually, I think I was there for 2 days, and did loads and loads of tapes, but eventually had to cut it all down to 20 minutes for the video.
The latest C West wing abandons the carbon fibre support posts, but the boot lid is carbon fibre anyway. Next up was an Evo 7 kit, again quite simple, but with lots of carbon fibre for a race look.
Evo 7s were still pretty new then too, so there were a lot of them at the show.
15 kit has been around for a while now. Like the others, it has a vent in the bumper for the air intake. It also has the largest version of the C West GT wing.
Loads of different body kits you could get for the S15 then, but to be honest, most of them look pretty similar. This is probably one of the better ones, but really they're pretty hard to tell apart.
This new Integra is not just a demo car, but C West's entry in the N1 race series. The dash setup is a bit of a giveaway. The RX-7 has also become a dedicated race car, now running on slick tyres. Finally, the first C West 350Z kit used all carbon fibre add-ons, including the very high GT wing.
I wonder what happened to all these 350Zs. You don't see them over there anymore.
One more C West car was almost entirely made from carbon fibre. This S2000 is also a race-only vehicle, complete with competition roll cage and fuel cell. Must be annoying to race on a rainy day. Every year the outfits worn by Japanese promo girls seem to get stranger. This Louis Vuitton inspired outfit was fine, but others were just weird. It seems they are willing to wear just about anything. This outfit pioneers a new fashion, wearing skirts on your boots. Of course, there's always the traditional option too. Last year, BN Sports had the lowest body kits at the show. It seems this year they wanted the fattest. Their FD RX-7 and S14 have been on very high calorie diets. Even their S15 drift car is bulging. The Supra was the chubbiest of all, looking like it might burst at any minute.
I feel like doing it low rider style when I'm on the West Coasting it. So, this is how we do. I'm opening the store with them. As you can see, we got the Alpine.
Hi, いやーもうね、A クラスのみんなもできたら、ファンの皆さんも元気っていう感じでね。ねえ、もう元気が売りっていう感じですか。はい。
Daihatsu had a go at modifying their new Copen, but the best example was this SC430 inspired version.
The Daihatsu Copen had just come out that year or maybe the year before. They're very, very popular, and of course Suzuki had stopped making the cappuccino, so that sort of took over where that left off.
In the exhibition hall, we found last year's D1 Drift Champion, an AE86 Toyota that owes a lot to the initial D cartoon. Another AE86 was a complete copy of Takami's car, complete with the Fujiwara tofu delivery stickers.
Surprising, really. There's probably been about 10,000 of these built since then.
As promised in our last video, Top Fuel built a DC5 Integra demo car for this year's show. It uses a 3037 Pro turbo and produces 500 PS.
Don't often see an underbonnet intercooler quite that big.
One for the Mitsubishi fans was this FTO from Samurai. Maybe a bit too purple.
Pretty rare to see an FTO modified, actually. They were never very popular in the aftermarket.
As always, vans and wagons were a big part of the show. Here's a taste of the snowplow set.
A lot has changed actually in the way they do the body kits in vans in Japan now, but they do a lot more anime-inspired stuff, what they call the itasha, whereas back then cars were still fairly clean.
Among the VIP cars, this may be the only one-seat Nissan President in the world.
Maximum practicality.
Approaches took a more classy approach to their Y31 SEMA. You could actually drive this one without getting arrested. The current model V12 Century is also an ideal VIP car.
Does look a lot like Valside rims, but it was actually Junction Produce's own brand. And here we have some more bikini girls. I really don't know what they're promoting half the time.
Our pick of the show was this Traum Chaser with a very smooth body kit and a unique paint colour. It had neat touches like SEMA headlight inserts and a 2837 turbo kit. Too bad they didn't paint the engine bay too.
It's pretty often the case with done-up cars because most Japanese cars at the time didn't have exactly the same engine bay color as the body color anyway. So when they came to repainting the outside of the car, they'd often only paint the outside, just ignore what the color of the engine bay is.
At any auto salon, there's always one model that stands out as the most popular choice. Nissan's new 350Z was a shoo-in for this year. Suffice to say that if you want a body kit for your Z, you won't have to search too hard.
A lot of these kits, I wonder if they're actually sold any. There were such a huge variety of kits just at this show alone. And yet the 350Z just never really took off as a modified car in Japan or elsewhere. Mind you now, they're great value. Probably better value than most Japanese cars from the era, actually. Overall, I'd have to say that the simpler kits look a lot better in hindsight. Anyway, that's the end of the coverage for that show. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be back soon with the second part of High Performance Imports V7. Cheers.